Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Slow Jam here, March 6, 2023. I'm fresh off of a weekend at Winter Wondergrass Festival, so I'm feeling good and warmed up playing, but boy, the voice is tired. But it's going to be just fine. I'm excited to sing a bunch of these songs, and we're celebrating the recent 100th birthday, what would have been Doc Watson's 100th birthday. So here's a big happy birthday to Doc in the great beyond. And speaking of the great beyond, this is my dad's birthday in the great beyond. I believe he would have been 80 today. So that's something. Lots of memories to celebrate here of two of my biggest influences in music, both Doc Watson and Michael Grant. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is a play-along jam. I'm here to back you up so you can play some good leads. You can also work on your rhythm. You're working on your bluegrass playing on any instrument. It doesn't matter. I have a click track here to help keep us in time. And I'm playing rhythm for you and singing the songs, and you're singing along and working on your harmony parts and all of that kind of stuff. And if you're just tuning in to listen, that's fine too. You're going to hear me playing leads, and you're going to hear me playing rhythm, and you're going to hear me singing. So I'm going to double check on the live streams. Most of you know the drill. You're here to jam in the safety of your own home or your office or wherever you are tuning in from. And the idea is that this is a simulation of a jam in real life with other musicians where you'd be interacting and working on your skills together. In this sense, it's just you and me. So you're playing off of me, and I'm providing you some solid backup. So I am on location here in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, at my good friend John Madron's house. Thank you, John, for hosting me. We did this a few times last year, and it worked out wonderfully. And I'm taking a look at the screen. Things look good. I actually got to ski today, my only ski day of the year. So I'm coming right off the slopes to jam here with you. So Facebook is looking good. I'm going to double check on the YouTube channel. I played about 10 sets, I think, at Winter Wondergrass Festival over the weekend. It was a busy weekend. I was involved in the Pickin' on the Dead sets, which I coordinate for the festival, and those were really fun. And also the River Wondergrass All-Stars sets. Coordinated those and had a good time playing with a bunch of our buddies who had been on the river with us. And also did a Winter Wondergrass All-Stars kind of thing. And sat in late night last night with Leftover Salmon on their late night show. So got plenty of activity musically. Okay, so we are going to begin with the Wabash Cannonball, and this is a song that Doc Watson loved and had a version of. And I will check on our tempo here. Okay, so this is just a 1-4-5 song in the key of G. So it's 1 and 1, 1 and a 4, 5 and a 5, 5 and a 1, 1 and a 1, 1 and a 4, 5 and a 5, 5 and a 1. So that's the whole song. And as we do here on the Play-Along Jam, I give you the opportunity to kick the song off. Kicking off the song, that just means you are playing the melody of the song and decorating it any way you like. But that introduces the melody, introduces the song. It is the introduction, the kickoff. So here's how I would kick off the song, and here's how I'm going to count you in. So you have a reference of how that goes. And this is always on the backbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is like a mandolin chop or a snare drum hit if you're a rock and roller, right? So this is on the ands. And the way I'm going to count you is, and I'll got some action upstairs, I think. I will count you in here, and sorry, I'm going to demonstrate how I would kick this off, and I'm going to count in the same way I'm going to count you in a moment. So here we go. Here's my kickoff of Wabash Cannonball. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so go ahead and get yourself ready, take a breath, and you're going to kick off Wabash Cannonball. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the queen of the flowy mountains to the south bells by the shore. She's mighty tall and handsome, she's known quite well by all. She's the combination on the Wabash Cannonball. So listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she climbs along the woodland o'er the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. We're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. I'm gonna play it now. Well, she came down from Birmingham one cold December day. As she pulled into the station, you could hear all the people say, there's a girl from Tennessee, she's long and she's tall. She came down from Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball. So listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she climbed along the woodland o'er the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. We're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Play it. Oh, the eastern states are dandy, so the people always say. From New York to St. Louis and Chicago, by the way. Way up in Minnesota where the rippling waters fall, no chances can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. So listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she climbs along the woodlands, o'er the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobos call. We're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. All right. I was a little late cueing you on the ending, but the little dip of the neck means we're ending the song. Cool. Wabash Cannonball, good old song. All right, we got some folks chiming in here. Hope you all... yeah, I saw a quick dip in my stream health here, so if you had a little dip in your signal, it looks like it's back to normal now, so you might need to refresh, or sometimes you can try the YouTube or try the Facebook, but I think we're going to be fine here. Apologies if you got frozen, just refresh it. I'm posting a link on the Facebook page. I'm posting a link to the YouTube. You can always pop over there and check that out. Okay, hey everybody, keep on chiming in there, and I will look at some of your comments and give you some shout outs in just a minute. So next we have The Dream of the Miner's Child. Now this is a song I first learned from Doc Watson. It was recorded by Vernon Dalhart back in the 1920s, and this is a great example of an old song that has a secondary dominant chord. We've been discussing this at the jams lately. So we're in the key of G, and the secondary dominant chord we're talking about is an A7, which is, I call it a 2 dominant. That's just my language. Technically speaking, it's the 5 chord of the 5. So it's taking the 2 in the key of G minor. What's the 2 chord naturally? The 2 chord would naturally be in, the key of G major. In the key of G major, the 2 chord would naturally be an A minor chord. But if we make that into an A7, it becomes the dominant chord. Now what is the dominant chord? The dominant chord is the 5. It becomes the 5 of the 5. So, whether or not you want to think about that, it's okay. I just wanted to give you that info. That's how secondary dominant chords work. It's a chord that's typically not a 7th chord, typically usually a minor chord, one of the minor chords in the key that you shift that 3rd up to make it a major triad, and you put that flatted 7th on it as an option. I always use the flatted 7 on those secondary dominant chords because then it truly acts as the 5 of the chord you are resolving to. So in that case, it's the 5 of D, and D is the 5 of G. So enough of that. You know, I got lessons that explain all this in great detail. But here's how the song goes. I'm going to call that A7 in this case. I'm going to call it the 2 dominant. Okay? It just means, dominant means a 7th. It means A7. So this song goes like this in the key of G. 1 and a 4 and a 1 and a 1. 1, 2 dominant and a 5. And 1 and a 4 and 1 and a 1. 1 and a 5 and a 1. So that's the whole song. So one more time. 1 and a 4 and a 1 and a 1. 1 and a 2 dominant A7. 5. And 1 and a 4. 1 and a 1. 1 and a 5 and a 1. That's the whole thing. And my kickoff, I'll get you going. It'll probably be about the same tempo. We're at the slow jam, of course. So we're doing all slow tempos. I'm actually going to slow that down a tiny bit. So my kickoff would go a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here you go. Kick us off on A Dream of the Miner's Child in the key of G. And I have a little cheat sheet here because I don't know all the words of this. I'm learning them. And here we go. Okay. I'm going to find it. Okay, kick us off. Dream of the Miner's Child in the key of G. Here we go. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Miner was leaving his home for his work when he heard his little child scream. He went to the side of his little child's bed. She said, "Daddy, I've had such a dream." Here's the chorus. "Oh, Daddy, don't go to the mines today, for dreams have so often come true. Oh, Daddy, dear Daddy, please don't go away, for I never could live without you." I'll play it. I dreamed that the mines were all flaming with fire, and the miners all fought for their lives. Just then the scene changed, and the mouth of the mine was covered with sweethearts and wives. Oh, Daddy, don't go to the mine one and you play right after me. Last chorus. Oh, Daddy, don't go to the mines today, for dreams have so often come true. Oh, Daddy, dear Daddy, please don't go away, for I never could live without you. All right. It's a sweet song, The Dream of the Miner's Child. Where are we? That's that program. Okay. I wanted to give you one more break because it's probably a fresh melody for many of you, and I was hoping that by that second time around, you might get the melody a little better. I was getting the melody a little better myself. And that's an example of a song. And I intentionally do this sometimes. I've never played that song before. I've never sang that song before. But I learned the melody from listening to it so much. So the more you go through it, the more you're familiar with it. And sometimes it helps to get one more pass when it's that fresh in your mind. And it's almost a test for the player to see how well they can retain this new melody that they might not be that familiar with. But the point is, if you know your major scales and you practice finding melodies by ear, this becomes an instantaneous process. You can hear a melody and play it. That's what we're all aiming for as players, no matter what style we're playing. Okay, how's everybody doing out there? Let's see. I've got here we go. There's Facebook. Okay, Facebook land. Hello, Heidi in New Jersey. Hi, Colin, up late in the UK. And hello, Misty. Oh, you got to hear some of the Dead Set. Cool, at Winter Wondergrass. That was quite a festival. Hello, Brian in Kansas City. Hi, Daniel in Richmond, Virginia. And hello, David in Kansas. That's all it's showing me. And my Facebook screen is frozen, but my YouTube screen is looking fine. So if you're struggling with the Facebook channel, just go over to the YouTube channel. And it seems as if that one tends to be a little bit more consistent anyway. And that's where I do all the archives. I mean, their archives are all up on Facebook, but they're harder to find. On the YouTube channel, I've got a playlist that I every week I add the new jam to that playlist. So it's all there, easy for you to find. Okay, hello Sandy in Bakersfield. The truck repair. The truck repair is a sad, sad story. I'm not going to have the truck for another several weeks, and I'm not even going to tell you how much it's going to cost. But thank you for checking in. Hello Ava in Arcata. Mr. Rivers Music, Old Man Rivers in Cincinnati, picking on the old guild. Cool. Hi Chuck in Laramie. Hello Jeremy in Chicago. Dave. Okay, yeah, I saw one little blip in the stream, and it's been healthy ever since. Ron Lipton. Cool. Hello, Ron. Hello, Sarah in Mobile, Alabama. Cool. Playing the guitar. Hi, Robert. All things wood, heat, and maple. Yeah, from Connecticut. Very cool. Playing the old Yamaha. Dave Schmidt. Filo de Trova in Brazil, Portugal. I think you're in Brazil. Hello. Denmark on a Gibson mandolin and Taylor guitar in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Yeah, very cool. Joe in Mexico City playing the old Martin guitar. Jeremy Yeah, these are all up live. I mean, they're not live. They're on the archives. They're all up on my YouTube channel, and there's a playlist. If somebody finds that playlist, go ahead and post it here in the comments. But they're all up after the fact. Yes. Hello, Joe, and hello, Jeremy. Hello, Chuck McLaughlin. It sure was fun at Winter Wondergrass. Okay, very cool. And hello, Lori and Elkins, my good friend Lori Tobacco. And hello, Mr. Dog Moon. Okay, cool. Let's get back to playing. Keep on chiming in. It's fun seeing people make connections with one another here. And I like to stay connected with you all as well. Okay. There's some funny sounds here every now and then. I'm at my friend John's house in Steamboat Springs. And I hope the lights don't turn off like they did last year. He's had them set on a timer. But I think we are good to go, and we're going to play Leather Britches. This is one that I've heard Doc play, and it's been a while since we played Leather Britches, so this isn't as much related to Doc Watson as it is just I wanted to review Leather Britches with everybody, because it's a great opportunity to work on your shuffle. No matter what your instrument is. If you're a fiddle player, you're very in tune with this concept. But the rest of us, what I mean is, when you're playing this melody, here I'm I'm really accenting that backbeat and playing with a nice shuffle. You imagine the fiddle going boom shuck boom shuck boom shuffle boom shuffle boom shuffle. That's kind of what we're going for with this old timey feel on this good old timey fiddle tune. And Doc had a very particular shuffle. He had a groove, what we call the pocket. You know, he had such a way with his timing, because he grew up, you know, playing for dances, and so his pocket was very tuned into that. You know, his pocket, his groove, his shuffle. These are all kind of different ways of saying the same thing. So think about that when you're playing this tune. And let's find a nice and slow. The changes are in the key of G. 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1 and 1 and a 1 and a 5 and a 1. 1 and a 1 and 1 and a 1. 4 and a 1 and a 5 and a 1. 1 da 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 5 and a 1. That's the chords for the A part and the B part. The melody is slightly different on each part. Well, it's completely different on each part. But anyway, I'm going to kick it off, so you'll hear me play it. And if you don't know this tune, you can learn it from just listening to me. And if you make a note of what time this is on the video, you can come back after and play along again until you learn it. Okay, and I've got online resources if you hit me up and need notation or need an actual lesson on this one, send me a message. So here we go. I'm going to kick us off on Leather Britches, and I'm going to play it all the way through, and then you'll play it all the way through, then I'll play it again, then you'll play it again. So twice each, and then you tag it at the end. And I'm going to kick it off with taters instead of counting. It's the exact same amount of time as the way I counted off, but this time it'll be taters. And you go ahead and start strumming when you're ready. Here we go. about that kind of shuffle, if you're in an old time jam, of course it's a funny word, it's sort of a construct, but like traditional string band music that predates bluegrass, the groove is very much, if you're playing guitar, not too many upstrokes. It's just a boom strum, like really solid boom strum, because then that shuffle is working its way with that, and you're not stepping on the shuffle of the fiddle player or whoever's playing lead. So on a tune like that, if you get those two things locked in, the lead player playing with a nice shuffle and the rhythm player just playing a really snappy, very simple boom strum, those things lock in and make it very danceable. Bluegrass rhythm, of course, tends to be a little bit more busy with more up strums and different rhythm patterns. Even though it's based on that same boom strum, and I always kind of go back to that same boom strum as the common denominator. Okay, fun. Next on the list, we got Will the Roses Bloom Where She Lies Sleeping. This is just a good old Flat and Scruggs song. Wanted to get a number in the key of C. And this one goes, and a 1 and 1 and a 4 and a 1 and 1 and a 5 and a 1 and 1 and a 4 and a 1 and a 5 and a 1. We'll go probably a little bit slower than that, so let me find the tempo and I'll show you. Pick it up a little bit from where we just were. So here's how I might kick that song off. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That. So go ahead and kick us off with that nice melody on this awesome song by Flat and Scruggs, Will the Roses Bloom Where She Lies Sleeping, in the key of C. Here you go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Will the flowers shed their petals there? Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? Her lips were like a bunch of roses. Her eyes shone like the starlight sky. Her hair was dark and it was curly, and I'll love her till the day I die. Will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Will the flowers shed their petals there? Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the till the dewdrops fall upon the roses, where my darling sleeps beneath the sand. All right. Good old song. Okay, Howlin' at the Moon. Okay, well, it is a full moon. Is it a full moon tonight? Let's find out. I know who knows. Tomorrow, or let's see. Anyway, sometime between tonight and tomorrow, March 7th, it's telling me, is the full moon. So, I just wanted to throw in a Howlin' at the Moon song, right? And this is a good old Hank Williams number. And it's in the key of D. And it goes like this. 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 4. 4 and a 1 and a 2 dominant to the 5. So there's another secondary dominant. And in this case, the 2 dominant in the key of D is an E7. So it's an E7 to an A7. Okay? And that happens exactly the same every verse. So one more time from the top. 1 and 1. 1 and a 4. 4 and a 1. 2 dominant to the 5. 1 and 1. 1 and a 4. 4 and a 1 and a 5 and a 1. That's the whole song. And the kickoff on the old Hank Williams version is just a turnaround. So that's a fun thing to know how to do, and when you're listening to music, pay attention. Oh, they're not kicking it off all the way through the melody. They're just doing an abbreviated kickoff on the last, the second half or the last phrase of the verse, as that one is. You got me chasing rabbits, walking down fleas, and howling at the moon. But what I'm going to do is let you kick it off through the whole melody, because I want you to practice playing all the way through. If you play the whole thing, then you'll know the last part, So my kickoff, if I'm playing all the way through the melody, would sound something like... I'm going to back this down a little bit on the tempo so we can get a nice bouncy country feel here. So here's how I might kick it off. A 1, 2, 3. Okay, so and I'm gonna really test myself here on the lyric. I didn't go over it this week, but it's in there somewhere, and I'm gonna see if I can sing all those verses in order, because Hank Williams was the hillbilly Shakespeare, and he had some interesting lyrics. So get ready to kick us off here on this good old Hank Williams song in the key of D, Howlin' at the Moon. And make sure to go out and look at the moon tonight, if you have a cloudless sky to enjoy. Here we go. Key of D, kick us off. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I know there's never been a man in the awful shape I'm in. I can't even spell my name, my head's in such a spin. Today I tried to eat a steak with a big old tablespoon. You got me chasing rabbits, walking on my hands, and lost what little sense I've had. Now I can't tell the day from night. I'm crazy as a loon. You got me chasing rabbits, walking on my hands, and howling at the moon. I'll play it. Some friends of mine asked me to go out on a hunting spree, 'cause there ain't a hound dog in the state that can hold a light to me. I ate 3 boats for dinner today, then tried to tree a coon. You got me chasing rabbits, scratching fleas, and howling at the moon. Play. I rode my horse to town today, and a gas pump we did pass. I pulled him in and hollered, whoa, said fill him up with gas. That man picked up a monkey wrench, and wham, he changed my tune. He got me chasing rabbits, spitting out teeth, and howling at the moon. I'll play one and you can play after me. I never thought in this whole world that a fool could fall so hard. But honey, baby, when we met, my whole world must have jarred. You got me chasing rabbits, picking out rings, and howling at the moon. All right, give me one more time on that verse. I never thought in this whole world that a fool could fall so hard. But honey, baby, when we met, my whole world must have jarred. I know I'd quit my doggish ways if you take me for your groom. You got me chasing rabbits, picking out rings, and howling at the moon. Okay. Well, I give myself a B- on the lyric there, but I eventually got them all in there. Fun. So it's a different kind of feel. You can play this with a very bluegrass feel, but you can also get a little bit country and swingy. You know, in those old country players of that era were listening to a lot of swing music and doing a lot of... You know, you can get a little more notey, maybe a little less of a bluegrass feel. So that's just a bit of a departure, but I enjoy doing that because the connections between classic country and bluegrass are important to acknowledge. Okay, where are we here? We got Omi Wise. Okay. This song is just a very rough story, but it's a beautiful rendition that Doc Watson recorded. And I'm trying to find my little cheat sheet here. And I thought this would be a great example of a song we could play in D minor that we have never done before. So this will be a fun little thing to try. So we're in the key of D minor, and it goes. And I'm just gonna, in minor keys, it's easier for me to just kind of like tell you the chords themselves. I don't expect anyone's using capos or in any alternate tunings here. So in the key of D minor, D minor, D, and C, and a C. D minor, D minor, A7, D. That's the whole song. So D minor, D minor, C, 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 and D minor, D minor, A7, and D minor. So if you are in the key of D minor, and I'm using numbers, I'd call this 1 and a 1, flat 7, 1 minor 1, and a 5 and a 1. But simple enough. And Doc, of course, he does this beautiful like fingerstyle solo version. But we're going to play it the way we're playing it here, as a duet, as it were, you and me. And let me find a tempo here. We'll go a little bit slower because I know this is a fresh one. A fresh one for me and a fresh one for most of you. So I'm just playing the melody here on my kickoff, and it goes like this. So 1, 2, 3. Has that couple beats in between, so it's just like I'm singing it. So you'll hear that because there's a bunch of verses, so you'll get familiar with that timing. But one more time, let me kind of sing the melody. I'll just sing the first verse, and you'll hear how that timing goes. Oh, listen to my story, I'll tell you no lies. How John Lewis did murder poor little Omi Wise. He told her to meet him at Adams's spring. He promised her money and other fine things. 2, 3, 4, bum, bum. So that's the way the timing is going to go throughout. Okay, so go ahead and kick us off here on this lovely melody, but a very sad story of the murder of Omi Wise in the key of D minor. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. mind. Do you intend to marry me or leave me behind? Little Omi, I'll tell you my mind. My mind is to drown you and leave you behind. Have mercy on my baby and spare me my life. I'll go home a beggar and never be your wife. Play. He kissed her and hugged her and turned her around, then pushed her in deep waters where he knew she would drown. He got on his pony and away he did ride, as the screams of little Omi went down by his side. Two boys went a-fishing one fine summer day and saw little Omi's body go floating away. They threw their net around her and drew her to the bank. Her clothes all wet and muddy, they laid her on a plank. Play it again. They sent for John Lewis to come to that place and brought her out before him that he might see her face. He made no confessions, but they carried him to jail. No friends or relations would go on his bail. Well, that was a fun experiment, and just a different kind of melody than we typically play, and one of these kind of D minor sort of vibes. And there you go, Omi Wise. Okay, we got a couple songs left here, and they are Lonesome, Moonlight, Waltz, and again, the full moon, so... And this is a great exercise in chords and finding a bunch of chords. And I'm just going to shout out the chord names because we kind of go from the key of D minor to its relative major F. So just to avoid any confusion, I'm just going to shout the chord names here. And it goes like this. It's a waltz, of course, so... let's see. That other song's in my head now. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. D minor, F, D minor, D minor, D minor, G, A, D minor, D minor, and a F, and D minor, C, and a C7, F. Now oftentimes that A part repeats, but in the interest of time here and moving right along, we're going to just do the A part once and go to the B part, which is B flat, B flat, F, G, G, C, A7, D minor, D minor, F, D minor, C and a C and a F. Okay, so I'm sorry I don't have more time to run that again, but we got to keep moving, so I'm just going to play it. And again, you can come back and review this tune. It's a good old Bill Monroe song that is a standard, so you're going to want to study up on it. And this is a waltz time, so this is a 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm slowing it down a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Now, the reason I picked this, aside from being the full moon, is that there's a great recording of Doc Watson and Bill Monroe playing this song before it was titled, and they discussed that. This one's called the Lonesome Moonlight or something like that, you know, on that classic Smithsonian Folkways recording of Doc and Bill. So I'm going to kick it off, and we'll play it 2 times through. So I'll play an A and a B. You'll play the A and the B. I'll play the A and the B part again. You play the A and the B part again. And it ends on the F chord. Okay, here we go. Lonesome Moonlight Waltz in the key of D. I will kick it off. 1, 2, ready, go. I know it's a lot for, for maybe beginning players who might not know that tune. But there's a great start, and I'm really sorry about whatever's going on upstairs. There's another family living above us, and I think they have a toddler. So hopefully those noises are not too distracting to you and they go away. Okay, so our last song of this slow jam, and it looks like we'll get to the mid-tempo jam pretty much on time. It'll start in about 8 minutes. And we will go ahead and close this one out with Way Downtown, which is, of course, one of the classic Doc Watson numbers that he was quite famous for. And last time I saw Doc Watson perform, he opened with this song. And it's in the key of E. And it's just a 4-1-5-1 all the way. A good old 41-51. I will find a tempo. And this one can go by pretty quickly. So we are going to not play it nearly as fast. I mean, this is going to be a slow version. But we're cranking it up a little bit from where we were previous. So again, it's in the key of E, and we start on the 4 chord. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1 and 1, 5, 5 and a 1, 4, 4, 1 and 1, 5, 5 and a 1. My kickoff might go. So every time we're going right back to that 4 chord. So here we go. Kick us off on Way Downtown in the key of E. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and it's oh my, ain't no one to go my bail. Late last night when Willie came home, I heard him a-rapping at the door. Slipping and a sliding with his new shoes on. Papa says, Willie, don't you rap no more. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and it's oh my, ain't no one to go my bail. I got I love those hills of West Virginia. I love those hills of Tennessee. North, south, east or west, it's all home, sweet home to me. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me it again. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and it's oh my, ain't no one to go my bail. One more chorus. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me, oh, my, ain't no one to go my bail. I always try to practice doing those fills. Doc was so good at filling while he was singing. He was impeccable. Okay, fun. Thank you so much. Appreciate the donations, as always. And I'm going to shut this down and come right back for the mid-tempo jam. So we'll see you on the new thread here in a few minutes. Thanks.